Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Hockey Hacks podcast, a proud member of the Heavy Hockey Network. I'm Devin Davidson, your host. With me, as always, Bruce Gunther.
Hello.
And Tyler Homan.
Hey, guys.
Hey, buddy. It's good to see you. You're making this like a regular thing now, Tyler. I can't, throw in little one-liners about you not being here.
I'll fix that. I can fix that.
I'm waiting for it. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm just waiting for it. Okay, episode 132, NHL Fantasy Preview for Week 2. It's Sunday night. We're going to get into our regular programming here, so we'll cover John's list this week. We'll do Fantasy Lock, and we'll get into Edge Work, covering off some waiver wire targets and the schedule for the week coming up here. So it should be a fun episode. We'll probably get through this in about 45 minutes or so, assuming Tyler doesn't talk her ear off. And I guess depending on how much we gripe about the Edmonton Oilers. So let's, that feels like a good segue. Let's jump into John's list here. If you've been listening to our podcast for a while, you've undoubtedly heard about John's list, which is basically just John's shit list of players past and present, as well as interesting and current topics from around the hockey world. Of course, we're doing this sans John tonight. I think he's out in Germany somewhere right now. Yeah. That may be a regular thing this year too. No John. All right, John's list this week. Edmonton's goaltending. And you could probably put all of the Edmonton Oilers on here, more or less, Tyler. But I'm going with Jack Campbell and Stuart Skinner. Jack Campbell had an .873 goals against average and a .750 save percentage. Stuart Skinner, 5.33 goals against average and a .750 save percentage. Really nothing short of awful to start the 2023-2024 season.
Yeah, they've been shit, both of them. But I actually think that Skinner was worse than Campbell. I think a lot of the goals that went in on Campbell were unlucky or just really good shots. I only watched the highlights of the game on Saturday because I was at Oktoberfest.
Oh, nice.
Thank God. Something better to do than watch that game. But yeah, both awful. My thought and hope, I guess, is that they're going to do their kind of adversity thing right at the start of the year for a change. Instead of starting good and doing it kind of in December, maybe they'll just do it right in October, get it out of the way. Because it's been terrible. The whole team, though, and not just goaltending.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, the defenses look terrible. The goaltending looks awful. And really not much up front to speak of. Like, Connor has been relatively quiet for Connor. Now, it's only 2 games, and Vancouver does look better, and I think that they're going to be a better team this year. But they haven't looked all that impressive. I mean, Evander Kane's been quiet. Zach Hyman hasn't done a whole lot. Our bottom 6, which... Down. Yeah, right? Like, it just doesn't look good. It's not encouraging through 2 games. What do you think, Bruce?
I watched the game Saturday night, and the Oilers looked very slow compared to Vancouver. Vancouver was winning the races everywhere. It just seemed like they were slow, and sometimes it even seemed like they were a little disinterested at a couple of points. It was weird, very weird to watch. And then that one goal that Ekholm got twisted around there at the net, it looks like Skinner took one of the Vancouver's players' skates right in the thigh.
That was Sam Lafferty. And Sam Lafferty basically just walked around Matthias Ekholm.
Yeah, because you watch how Skinner went down after that goal or during that goal. When you watch the replay, if you slow it down, you see a leg of the Canucks player hit his thigh. So I don't know if that's maybe something to watch too. I don't know, but they looked better than the previous game. And they were in Vancouver, sorry, but
yeah.
They just, I don't know. Vancouver, give them full credit. They did a number on them 2 times in a row. And how about D. Smith there, right? 41 saves. The kid stood on his head.
He did.
Made some fantastic saves. So some credit to Vancouver there too. They played Edmonton really well. Tippett has got them moving.
Yeah, credit to Vancouver for sure, no question. Just Smith did look good. The Oilers kind of got goalied there. I'm just trying to pull up the numbers here from Wood Guy because he put out some interesting stuff here. Talking about their 5-on-5 play, and Edmonton's 5-on-5 PDO is currently 7.74, a 2.4 shooting percentage, and a 750 save percentage. Last year they finished with a 9.14 shooting percentage, 914 save percentage, and 1,006 PDO. Like, we know regression's coming, right? So you look at the numbers, they outshot Vancouver big time. We know the goaltending was awful. And that's going to change to some degree, right? Even if we don't get Vezina caliber goaltending, it's not going to be this bad for the rest of the season.
And you have to wonder a bit, too, if there was a bit of extra motivation for Vancouver. Tippett was Edmonton's coach before Woodcroft, so I wonder if there was a little bit of extra motivation there, too, for the players to give Tip a couple of wins for his new team at the expense of his old team.
Was it Tippett? It was Tocchet, right?
Talking, I thought it was Tippett.
Sorry, Bruce, you pulled a Devin there.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's okay. Rick Tocchet and Mike Yeo is the other guy on the bench there from Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah. But either way.
I got the T part right, though.
You did. You got the T part right. At least you didn't say Nyes like 18 times when it had nothing to do with the Calder, so that's fine. We all do it. It's fine. It's all good. Alrighty. So that's John's list this year or this week. It's gonna improve. It'll get better. Let's move on.
Hopefully not this year.
Oh God, I hope not. One other thing I do want to say, Matthias Ekholm did not look right, and I've seen lots of people saying that online that he maybe shouldn't be playing right now.
Well, I missed all of camp and jumped into game 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I give it a little bit, but
I am concerned. He's not a spring chicken, and if he's got hip flexor issues, and he's playing like doggy doo doo, I got concerns. So, with that, let's move on to Fantasy Lock of the Week for Week 1, October 10th to the 15th. And Bruce, I'm going to let you take this one away because you were kind enough to fill in all the details for us.
Oh, I didn't do that much of the work. I just suggested the player. But anyway, Fantasy Lock of the Week for this week, even though I forgot to change the dates on the show notes, is Auston Matthews. He's 100% rostered everywhere, obviously. 6 goals, 2 hat tricks, 2 power play goals on 13 shots. He is the second. Oh God, I didn't type that very well. He is the second player in NHL history to score back-to-back hat tricks in the Oh my God. Maybe it's the thing I don't talk. Second player in NHL history to score back-to-back hat tricks to start the regular season. He also added 6 hits, and while averaging 22 minutes and 5 seconds, his time on ice.
Yeah, sorry.
Did I butcher that?
Hey, Bruce, we just got to get you more reps in, buddy. That's all.
Apparently.
And I sprung that on you last minute. That's my bad. But yeah, Auston Matthews has looked pretty good. And Tyler, I'm sorry to do that to you. But we had to give him the lock of the week after 2 hat tricks. Somebody was kind enough on Twitter to mention that Auston Matthews now has more goals than like a third of the league, including the Edmonton Oilers, through 2 games. So.
Oh, doesn't he have 3 times as many goals as the Kraken have scored yet this season?
I think it was the Kraken. Yeah, there's a bunch of teams on that list, but it's he's off to a rip-roaring start, so that's pretty cool. I mean, Bruce, you have to be happy. That's your player in at least one league.
Absolutely. It still won't be enough to win this week for me, unfortunately, but that was nice to see. And he says too, it's fun. That was his exact quote when they asked him about it. He said, it's fun.
Yep.
So if he's having fun, he's gonna do a lot more of that.
Thankfully, it wasn't against the Edmonton Oilers because I just don't think I could have taken that this week, Tyler.
I took Pettersson over him.
Hey, but Pettersson made the honorable mention, though.
Yeah. No, let's get to that.
Let's make Tyler feel better. So, Bruce, tell us about Pettersson this week.
So, honorable mention this week goes to Elias Pettersson. He also had 6 points, 1 goal, and 5 assists against our lowly Edmonton Oilers. 4 power play points. 6 shots on goal. He had a 68% power play share with just over 19 minutes time on ice on the 2 games versus Edmonton so far this season.
He's playing for that contract.
Oh, he's going to get paid lots and lots of money. What did Elliot Friedman say? $11 billion?
$11 billion. He'll get paid.
If Vancouver doesn't want to, somebody will.
I would be very surprised if he doesn't re-sign in Vancouver, but stranger things have happened, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Tyler, you got to be happy with his performance this week after picking him 4th overall in the ESPN League.
What a mistake. I freaked out when it turns red and it starts beeping.
You literally saw red. That's all you saw.
Yeah, I freaked out. Hopefully it works out. It doesn't look like it's gonna, but that's fine.
He's probably going to clear 100 points. I mean, Matthews isn't going to score 6 goals every 2 games. That's just not going to continue. But
No, but he'll probably get 60.
yep.
Pedersen's not
Yeah.
gonna get 60.
What if Pedersen gets 40 or 45 and puts up 110 points? That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah. I'm trying to help you out here, man.
Yeah,
Come on,
no.
work with me. Work with me.
Yeah. No,
Unless
sounds
you're
great.
in the,
Thank you so much.
Unless you're in the FHHL league, then it's only they're both the same, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know how to operate that thing, so
Oh boy. All right, before Tyler implodes, let's move on to Edge Work, the segment where we put in the work to give you the edge in your fantasy hockey leagues. Each week, us hacks are going to cover the NHL schedule and waiver wire targets to try to help you to victory. Although sometimes we make some questionable picks ourselves, so as it's been known to happen. This week in the NHL for week 2, here's what you need to know. The 2023-2024 regular season is in its second week, and week 2 gets in the action with Tuesday 9 games, Thursday 12, and Saturday 15 being the busiest days on the schedule, as is typical, with 5 or fewer games taking place on the remaining days during the week. So optimizing for games played is going to present another challenge here as the NHL schedule ramps up. There are a total of 47 games on the schedule with 4 light days. That's 50% or fewer NHL teams in action during week 2. In terms of optimizing or attempting to optimize the schedule for games played, there are a total of 3 teams this week: Arizona, Calgary, and Detroit. That do provide an advantage with 4 games played. Of those 3 teams, both Calgary and Detroit play 3 of their games on off nights. No teams play fewer than 2 games this week, with Ottawa, New Jersey, Montreal, St. Louis, and Pittsburgh playing just twice. Monday, 5 games, Tuesday, 9, Wednesday, 2, Thursday, 12, Friday, 2, Saturday, 15, and Sunday, 2. Again, teams of 4 games: Arizona, Calgary, Detroit. Teams of 2 games: Ottawa, New Jersey, Montreal, St. Louis, Pittsburgh. Everybody else plays 3 times in week 2. And there you have it. So moving on to NHL waiver wire targets for week number 2. As we always do, we're going to cover off players that are approximately 50% rostered or less. We have some leeway there, obviously, but when considering players to target, we review recent performance, player deployment, upcoming schedule, and any other underlying metrics we choose to look at. So starting this week, Bruce, I got Seth Jarvis here, rostered in 41% of Yahoo leagues, 73% of Fantrax leagues. 3 games on the docket for him. He's playing next to Sebastian Aho and Michael Bunting, as well as on Power Play 1.
He's got himself some nice deployment there. Can't really ask for much better. I don't know how he's doing tonight against Anaheim, but
It's 6-3 Anaheim right now with a minute left, and I think Vetrano just scored to cap off a hat trick.
oh, nice. So should we add him to the list, or are we just one-offing him?
You know what? Maybe worth mentioning. I don't have any information prepared for Vetrano, Frank Vetrano, but
I don't think anybody did.
he pot 3 goals. I mean, that's worth something. So we'll just, for anyone that hasn't been paying attention, I just scored an empty netter for his 3rd. So there you go.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Seth Jarvis, I mean, the thing is, he's getting the prime deployment. He's getting the minutes. I think he's averaging over 20 minutes a night, 521 on the power play, 56% power play share. He has just 1 assist in 2 games. I don't think he did anything tonight, Bruce, unless we fact check that here quickly, but I'll tell you in about 2 seconds. No, it does not appear so. So yeah, just 1 assist through 3 games. I mean, the issue obviously is the lack of production right now. It should come. He had 3 shots again tonight.
Well, we're only in game 3. I
Yeah,
don't think it's time to panic just yet, but
no, not at all.
if the zeros keep piling up, then his rostered number will drop from 41 to lower.
Right. But I mean, that deployment's really hard to pass up. So if you're looking for someone who, and center, right wing dual eligibility, obviously makes a big difference there.
It's tough to pass up for sure.
Yeah. The other guy here I just want to mention quickly is Teuvo Teravainen, who left wing, right wing eligible, 37% rostered in Yahoo, 53% in Fantrax. He's got 3 goals now in 3 games, and he's averaging just under 4 minutes on the power play, 40% power play share.
Oh, nice.
So, Tyler, that's a guy you've rostered plenty in the past. Maybe worth a look this week or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's great. Very insightful. Okay, so Teuvo Teravainen. 37% in Yahoo, 53% in Fantrax. So still widely available. And I think he's playing on the second line with Martin Necas there. So probably worth a quick look if you're in need of a winger. Dual eligibility is always nice. Andrew Mangiapane is the next guy we got here. And Tyler, I think you grabbed him in our ESPN league today, didn't you?
No, somebody else did.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, again, left wing, right wing eligibility for the Calgary Flames. 36% rostered in Yahoo, 47% in Fantrax. 4 games on the schedule for next week. He is getting prime deployment next to Elias Lindholm and Jonathan Huberdeau, and time on power play 2. 4 points, 2 goals in 2 games. Looks like a really nice option here, Bruce, heading into week 2.
Oh, very nicely. He slid up into line 1 there, and he's made the most of it so far. If he keeps doing that, he's going to stay there. He may even see him jump to power play 1. It depends on whether they keep Coronado there or not.
Yeah, that's again a case where rookie players tend to get bumped in those types of situations when veteran players start heating up like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so 4 points in 2 games. He's doing great. He could be like, how did he have last year? 17 goals last year, but I mean, 2 seasons ago he had 35 goals in 82 games. So this is a guy that can score some goals. Be curious to see what he does this year. All right. Wyatt Johnston for the Dallas Stars. 19% rostered in Yahoo, 66% in Fantrax. I think the discrepancy there is probably due to the fact that a lot of people in Fantrax are playing keeper and dynasty formats, whereas Yahoo may be more season-long stuff.
Could be.
And that's how I'm kind of looking at this anyway, but Wyatt Johnston is going to be great this year. He's playing on line 2 with Jamie Benn and Evgeny Dadonov, as well as on power play 2. But he was great in Dallas' 2-1 shootout win over the St. Louis Blues. In 17 minutes, he led all Dallas skaters in shot attempts, individual scoring chances, and high danger scoring chances. And I expect he's going to improve on his 41.24 goal rookie season. What do you think, Tyler?
I think based on the deployment, I mean, I would expect him to improve on that 41 points. A lot of goals, not a lot of assists, but just a little, like, I just don't believe in Jamie Benn anymore. So that would be the only kind of hang up for me on picking him up.
Yeah, and Ben was one of our kind of regression candidates for this year, Bruce. So,
yep. I don't know, how is he doing so far this season?
It's a good question. I really haven't heard much about Jamie Benn. If you want to take a look at him quickly here, but I know he's been taken in pretty much every draft I've participated in. He's gone in kind of the mid to late rounds, depending on the format. Still probably a useful player in a banger league, and he still seems to be getting deployment that makes him somewhat valuable.
He's got 1 goal so far this season in 1 game.
So far so good. If you picked up Jamie Benn.
Yep.
Tyler's searching the wire for him right now.
I'm not doing that.
But yeah, I think Wyatt Johnston's going to be a good pickup this year. He'll be very productive. So, next up is Boone Jenner, and I actually can't believe this guy is only 36% rostered in Yahoo and still just 63% in Fantrax. Center left wing eligible for the Columbus Blue Jackets. 3 games next week against Detroit, Calgary, and Minnesota. He's now playing on the top line with Johnny Gaudreau and Kirill Marchenko. Marchenko's been good himself. I think he's got 2 or 3 points through 2 or 3 games. Jenner still looks to be getting, I guess, power play 2 time here. But in 2 games, he's got 4 points, 3 goals. He had that hat trick the other night. Was that yesterday?
Yes.
Power play goal, 7 shots on goal, 4 hits, 4 blocks. Nice category coverage. I picked him up in our ESPN league just because he does. He covers a lot of categories, and he seems to still put up some goals. So I think this is a guy, Bruce, probably quite easily put up 30 goals in a season.
I have to keep with his current deployment. Yeah, we've been talking him up through most of the off season here about how.
Sorry, I just couldn't help but notice that Tyler picked up Wyatt Johnston on ESPN.
No.
Why don't you guys not worry about what I'm doing, all right?
I love that we're now getting those notifications because we never used to. But
I didn't even notice.
sorry,
Oh,
Bruce.
man.
Go back to Boone Jenner. So
Okay. We had talked Jenner up, and I think we talked with Blake too. It was one of Blake's boys for the upcoming season here. So, and he's showing he can make an impact, right? So, and those goals too. I think a couple were on the power play too to boot. So, as long as he keeps playing, the points should keep coming in.
I'm just pulling up his numbers here again. Like 1925 time on ice. He's averaging 259 on the power play, so 70.5% power play share. So I stand corrected. He is
That's
getting
nice.
more of that power play one time. 4 hits, 4 blocks for 2 games. Like, I like the category
Can't
coverage.
ask for better, really.
No,
Yeah.
no. And he's on a 164-point pace through 2 games, so nothing wrong with that.
Nice.
All right.
He can beat Connor. He's at a better pace than Connor right now.
Oh, let's not get into it, Bruce. Riley Smith's our next guy up here. So left wing, right wing eligible for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I got Florida written down here for some reason, and that is not accurate. The Pittsburgh Penguins, 56% rostered in Yahoo, 52% in Fantrax. 2 games on the schedule for next week, Minnesota and Winnipeg, playing with Evgeny Malkin and Ricard Raquel, as well as power play 2. He's looked good early, 3 points, 2 goals in 3 games played. He's fighting the puck at an unusually high rate for him, 4 shots on goal per game so far. That's a 15.3 shots on goal per 60. So we're going to see some regression there. But Bruce, the 32-year-old, he's never played with anybody like Malkin before. So even as the shot rate normalizes, I think he's still going to have plenty of offensive opportunities to put the puck in the back of the net.
Oh, definitely. You look at the way Pittsburgh's been flying around here. They didn't look so hot in their first game against Chicago, but versus Washington, they all looked fantastic. Except for that hit Carlson took from Ovechkin. Oh, my God. Didn't know Carlson was going to get back up.
I missed that one. I missed it. I'll have to go back
Oh,
and
it's
look.
a beautiful open ice hit. He absolutely leveled him. And then he got up and skated away.
Ovi just doing Ovi things.
Yeah, it's good. He said Malkin looked good in that game. Smith has got some great talent there to play with. I just hope they can find their way into the playoffs, but I don't know. Kind of team's a little on the old side.
I think they're going to push for the playoffs. But I had to laugh. I saw someone posted something. They're asking Malkin about him being tied for the league lead in scoring so far. And he goes, I hope the season ends tomorrow and I'm crowned the MVP of the league.
Gotta love his sense of humor.
Typical Malkin. He's pretty funny. Tyler, here's another guy for you. Brian Rust, just 39% rostered. In 3 games, he's played over 18 minutes per game, 3 goals, 10 shots, 6 blocks, playing with Gensel and Crosby at 5-on-5. What do you think?
I think playing with Crosby, anytime you're doing that, that's probably somebody to look at. I think that game against Washington, I think that was less about Pittsburgh playing well and more about how old and slow Washington actually is. So
Yeah,
I don't know if I get too excited about it, but Brian Rust with that deployment is definitely somebody to look at.
for sure. And we mentioned him last week, but I just thought, again, with a couple more goals and him continuing to play well, he's only getting power play 2 time, right? So that is kind of going to limit his upside here, but you're not playing him on the power play over guys like Letang, Carlson, Malkin, Sid, like Gensel. Kirby Dach, and this one, so we had this written up before he went down last night, but I'm going to go through him anyway. So Kirby Dach, I think he's center right wing eligible. 11% rostered, 62 in Fantrax. 2 games on the schedule for next week. Playing on the second line with Alex Newhook and Juraj Slavkovsky, as well as on power play 1. He's got 2 points, and he's been getting top power play minutes, 359 power play time on ice, 66% power play share. But he did leave Saturday's game after just 4.5 minutes time on ice. But I think he could be a season-long ad, Tyler. Just given that he's going to play in the top 6, he's getting power play 1 time. As long as he can stay healthy. And that is the question here. I mean, I don't know. Or is he just a streamer for you?
For me, I think he's just a streamer. Along with most of the players on Montreal, aside from Caulfield and
Suzuki.
yeah, he's just a streamer for me. I just don't know.
That's fair. I mean, he's only 11% rostered, but I was really hopeful that this might be the year he does something.
And it still might.
Yep.
Still might.
Could be.
Kind of a weird injury because it didn't look like, I mean, aside from landing in the other team's bench, it didn't look like anything really happened. So
I don't know. For a big dude, he seems to get injured a lot. That's for sure.
Soft
with a capital T. The other guy I wanted to mention from Montreal was From Monahan, and he's only 2% rostered, but he had a shorthanded goal, which turned out to be the game winner last night. +3, 4 PIMs, 3 shots. He had 5 shot attempts, 3 scoring chances, 3 high danger scoring chances. He was 87% in the dot, played 18.5 minutes, and 66% power play share. So now with Doc sideline, there's a chance he's going to play in the top 6, and he was already on power play 1. So From Monahan could be a sneaky option, but Bruce, what do you think?
He very well, he very well could be. Yeah, there isn't a whole lot of talent there, so it'd move him up into the top 6, and yeah, he definitely could be.
Okay. Excuse me. That's going to do it for our forwards for tonight. We'll move on to defensemen here, starting with John Klingberg, who is 60% rostered in Yahoo and 89% rostered in Fantrax. 3 games on the schedule: Chicago, Florida, and Tampa next week. He's playing on the second pairing with Jake McCabe and on power play 1. I think everybody on this podcast agreed, and Tyler maybe begrudgingly so, but we kind of knew John Klingberg was going to play power play 1 minutes, and here he is. Through just 2 games, Klingberg, he's got 3 assists, playing just about 23 minutes a game, 353 power play time on ice, 82% power play share. In the Leafs' first game of this season, he played just under 25 minutes, seeing more overall ice time than Morgan Rielly. So, Tyler, at this point, are you a little bit concerned about your Morgan Rielly pickup?
Yeah, I don't like it. And I don't like Klingberg. But, I mean, obviously, if he's going to play more, he's going to get all that power play time. It makes sense. So maybe I'll see if I can send out some trades right now.
I'm willing to buy low if you want to send over a trade request for Morgan Rielly.
I'm not doing nothing with you.
Some things never change. It's fine. It's fine. Bruce, John Klingberg, is that a player you have any interest in for this year?
A little bit. I don't think I'm going to see him on the waiver wire anytime soon. Well, unless he goes through a cold spell, maybe. But like we said before in a lot of our previews, if Toronto signed him, it's the reason why he's there is to play on the power play, and he's been effective so far as a power play that I'm a little surprised that they're playing him 25 minutes a night. I kind of figured he'd be kind of the third pair power play specialist, but they're playing him like basically a first defenseman. So be interesting to see how that pans out. Unless they're going to the Edmonton Oilers style of defense from the 1980s, no defense and just score. Maybe that's what they're going with this year. I don't know.
It's been known to work, Bruce.
It has.
I guess we'll see. Yeah, I didn't anticipate him playing this many minutes. I thought it'd be more of a Tyson Barrie situation. You play 18 or 20 minutes a night and 5 minutes on the power play. And yeah, I'm actually really surprised, Tyler, to see that Morgan Rielly's getting less ice time than Klingberg through a few games here.
Yeah, I'm super surprised, especially with how long Rielly's been there. And to have that guy come in and kind of take all the minutes. I really don't believe that it's going to be for the entire season. I might still be wrong, but I just don't see it happening. So,
okay. How about this guy? Excuse me. Oliver Ekman-Larsson for the Florida Panthers. 13% rostered in Yahoo, 44% in Fantrax. 3 games on the schedule: Jersey, Toronto, Vancouver. He's playing in the top pairing right now with Gustav Forsling and on power play 1. For all intents and purposes, he's basically a first pairing defenseman right now. And he's done a nice job actually filling in for Aaron Ekblad and Brandon Montour. He's pointless through 2 games, but he is averaging 26.5 minutes and just about 6.5 minutes on the man advantage with 74% power play share. Given that kind of deployment, Bruce, I think he's going to start piling up some points, and he's widely available. It's just the guy you're looking at.
I would sure hope so. He's got, he's like you said, he's got prime deployment here till either Ekblad or Montour comes back. Until then, you look at him. You look at Who'd we have on the list last week from Florida? That was Rodriguez, right?
Yep.
He had 4 points in one game.
Last night,
Yeah,
right?
like
Yeah, Rodriguez looked fantastic.
so. Looking at OEL's deployment, yeah, you would hope so. He's should be starting to put up some points here pretty soon.
I know.
If not, then I guess there would be some concern.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give him some runway here, but he hasn't been fantasy relevant for a long time, right? And they don't have a ton of options.
Very long time.
Like if it doesn't work with OEL, they're going to Gustav Forsling, which may be a better option at some point. But I'm hoping not, because I actually, in our ESPN league, I had 4 solid defensemen. I had to pick up a 5th somewhere. I grabbed Aaron Ekblad, stashed him, and the only other player really fantasy relevant available was OEL. So I've got him playing as my 5th defenseman right now. So I really hope that works out. But
it's a little worrisome that he playing that much. He doesn't have a point yet.
I would agree. Through 2 games, it's strange he doesn't have a single point. But I don't know. We'll figure it out.
A little weird.
Matthew Tkachuk, didn't he have 10 shots the other night and 0 shots on goal? Or 0 goals?
Yeah, probably.
He doesn't have a goal yet this season. He's got 2 assists, but yeah, he's taken 12 shots so far.
There you go.
That's too bad.
Heartbreaking. Got in a scrap with Mark Scheifele yesterday too.
Did he lose that too?
It was kind of just a wrestling match. They both fell to the ice.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah. Shocker, I know. What about... Sorry, Chad, go ahead.
Oh, I just think Turtle.
Yeah, Turtle. Yeah.
Turtle.
Ivan Provorov. Somebody's got to take over the reins for Zach Werenski, who's going to be on the shelf for a couple weeks here. It still looks like Damon Severson's going to get power play 1. But Provorov actually had a couple of assists yesterday. I think 1 was on the power play, along with 1 hit, 4 blocks in nearly 23 minutes of time on ice. So he looks to be maybe a better option in terms of how much ice time he's getting, and then in terms of category coverage for hits and blocks. So just depending on your format, if it's strictly points, maybe Severson makes some more sense given that he's on the top power play unit. But both guys, I think Severson is only 4% rostered, Provorov 6%. So take your pick there. But I think those are maybe 2 options to consider while Werenski is on the sidelines. Bruce, what say you?
Well, the note in practice this morning from Columbus is that Provorov is on power play 1. Severson's been bumped to power play 2. At least that's how they were practicing this morning.
Okay.
From what I read here.
Well, there you go.
So that's a good sign.
Yeah, that strengthens the case for Provorov for sure. I wrote this up last night, so that's good that we had some updates this morning.
Definitely.
Alrighty, and then on to goaltenders here. We got a couple that I would suggest more than others, but Tyler, I'm going to start with Peter Mrazek, because you had suggested this guy last week, and I think you went right back out there and had another great game. So through 2 games, he's got a 1-1 record, but a 2.54 goals against average, a 934 save percentage. He's looked really good.
He hasn't. The last note there about him being serviceable while he can stay healthy is probably should have been at the top, because he is like if you went 0G, like that's somebody that you want to have.
Yep.
And you want to kind of have a streaming spot for him, because he can win you matchups when nobody else is expecting it. Mm-hmm. But he could also be hurt most of the time. So
yeah.
And he still plays for Chicago. So keep all of that in mind.
Yeah. But I
good for 2.
What's that, Bruce?
I say he's good for 2 groin injuries a season.
At least.
For sure he is.
At least.
For sure he is. I mean, I said at the top here too, expectations for Mrazek and the Blackhawks are low, but he's looked really good through 2 games. And I think in a matchup dependent situation, there's a case to be made for rostering him. But saying that too, they've got a tough week ahead. They got Toronto, Colorado, and Vegas. So maybe not ideal for this week, but still someone I'd take a look at season long as a streamer option. All right, and then the other guy I got here, Karel Vejmelka, So as we had mentioned earlier, the Coyotes play 4 games this week: New York, the Islanders, St. Louis, and Anaheim. It was confirmed earlier that Connor Ingram is going to play against the Rangers tomorrow night, with Vejmelka taking the game on Tuesday against the Islanders. And it's possible he plays the next 2 matchups because they're spread out enough that he could take on both games. 40% rostered in Yahoo, 61% in Fantrax. I'm feeling pretty good about the Coyotes as like a sleeper pick to push for a playoff spot. Like they took the Devils to task, right? Was it a 4-3 win?
Yes.
Yeah. Vejmelka, 33 saves, 2.77 goals against average, and a .917 save percentage. So I don't know. They're going to struggle in the faceoff circle because they've got a couple of young guys taking faceoffs, but beyond that, they're actually a pretty good young team. So Tyler, Sean Jersey, I think we talked about him. He's looked pretty good. Did you draft that guy this week? Who did you pick up now, Tyler? Who did you pick up now?
I did. I drafted him 217. I was already going to do it, but I was just sitting there. I drafted him 217, Sean Jersey.
There you go.
And he's had a good start.
Yeah.
23 minutes, got a goal.
And he looks like he's the sole option now in the power play there in Arizona. Which
is a little bit surprising with Dumba there, but that's what it looks like.
But Dumba's struggled the last couple seasons. He hasn't played in the power play. It is interesting though, because there was lots of talk about Juuso Välimäki getting a shot on the power play or sharing power play time with Jersey. JJ Moser was getting power play one time during the preseason. It's kind of been all over the place, and then they basically just came out and Sean Jersey's our guy. So I think that's great. Good for you for grabbing him as late as you did.
He's rostered 62% too.
Yeah.
So to get him that late,
that's good. It's good value. The reason Bruce and I are laughing is as we're talking about Karel Vejmelka, Tyler just went and picked him up on ESPN. So
listen, I've been tossing it around for about a week here.
Sure.
Right? So
yep.
Who
did you drop for?
Wow. Drake Batherson.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
not doing nothing.
He is, yeah. Useless. Yeah, that's fine. It's just Tyler's totally drinking the Hacks Kool-Aid here, so I love it. Endorsing those picks, buddy.
We should just change the waiver wire picks to Devin and Tyler's picks of the week.
More or less, yeah. That's kind of these are we fully endorse these picks. Jonas Johansson for the Tampa Bay Lightning, 51% rostered in Yahoo, 52% in Fantrax. 3 games on the schedule for next week against Buffalo, Vancouver, and Toronto. He did struggle against the Detroit Red Wings yesterday, letting in 5 goals, but he was serviceable in Game 1 against Nashville, and I think just with Vasilevsky out for now, he's really the best option they have. So if he's available, I think as a streaming option is really nice, especially if you were somebody who had drafted Vasilevsky and we're kind of left holding the bag there. But that's all I'm going to say. He's just kind of like, at this point, just a serviceable option, but I think it's someone to look at. And then Bruce, I did it. I did it this week.
I saw that. I just about killed myself laughing when I saw that, because I know if I picked him up, he'd just die again. So someone else might as well have picked him up.
He's going to let in like 8 goals next week, I'm sure. But I just want to mention.
I hope so.
I'm just going to mention 61% rostered right now, but he's got 1 win, 1 loss, 0.92 goals against average, a .969 save percentage. He's looked really, really good so far for St. Louis. I don't have any high hopes or expectations, Bruce, but with those kind of numbers, Devin,
he's starting good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Run him all you can till he falls apart.
And I dropped a player for him, but I kept my 3 other goalies. And Devin Levi has been a little bit slow to start here, so that was my other thing, was just Binnington's going to get starts because of his contract, and if he continues to play like that, that gives me some flexibility in goal.
Gives you a bit of a base to work off of.
Yeah. And hopefully Devin Levi gets it together, and if he doesn't, then maybe I drop him and I go with Binnington, but we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. No one will be picking up the LA goalies anytime soon, so.
No.
One guy that did surprise, though, was Mackenzie Blackwood the other night.
Yes, I had him in our Hackstars post this afternoon. 51 saves, right?
Yeah. They lost 2-1, but yeah, 51 saves. It incredible.
Well, in our ESPN league, Bruce, like, and in quite a few other formats, 51 saves, even if you don't win the game, you're still going to walk away with a handful of points.
In our FHHL league, you had 22.5 points, even though we lost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
22.5. That's not bad at all.
It's like that. Oh, boy. Okay.
For sure.
Well, excuse me. I am dying here. That is all we got for waiver wire targets this week, guys, and that's really going to do it for this episode. We got through it in 40 minutes. I kind of like this new format. It's going to be quicker episodes like this. They're not going to be quite as long because we're going to do all of our hacks, highlights, and mailbag stuff in our Wednesday episode live on Edmonton Sports Talk, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, or over at the Heavy Hockey YouTube channel, and of course available as a podcast the next day. So make sure you subscribe, leave us a review if you like what we're doing on the channel and on the podcast here, obviously.
Tyler's dozing off already.
We're losing Tyler. You know what? He was at Oktoberfest last night. He was at Oktoberfest.
Nice.
He's hungover.
Yeah.
He's struggling to make it through. He just wants to make all of his fantasy pickups after reading the notes here.
Yeah. On the fly.
On the fly.
I've done my job.
Yep. That's
See
it.
you guys on Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to see you, Tyler. If you guys want to get in touch with us on social media, on Twitter or X, at FHHacks, on Instagram, Fantasy Hockey Hacks. Check out the website, fantasyhockeyhacks.com. And we will see you guys next week.
Good night.
See you guys.
Take care.